Hello friends, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It depends on the time when you watch particular this video. So let's discuss accounting terminology. The various accounting terms which are used while discussing or while understanding bookkeeping and accountancy. Without the knowledge of various terms which are being used, you can't understand accountancy thoroughly. So, various terms which are used, goods, assets, capital, drawing, proprietor, business transaction, you must have the basic knowledge in depth of these terms which are used so that we could understand bookkeeping and accountancy thoroughly. So let's discuss with very first item which is business transaction. First of business transaction. So business transaction is any exchange of goods or services. Just see, goods word has come. We have not discussed so far. So we have to understand what do you mean by goods. So when we discuss all those items, then you will be able to understand the proper words. What is the meaning of those words? So exchange of goods means transfer of goods or services for cash or on credit to any other person. If A has sold, A has transferred goods to B. So this is exchange of goods for cash. Exchange of goods for services. Bankers provide services. Life insurance company provides services. Chartered accountant provides services. The architect provides services, not the goods. So any exchange of goods or services for cash or on credit to any other person, not to oneself. He is not to provide the service to himself or herself. Okay? So similarly, if goods or services are provided by A to B, that is called as business transaction. And its features include economic in nature. When we say economic in nature, it must relate to the business. It should not be social one. Inviting your friend for a lunch or a dinner at home is a social transaction, not an economic transaction, not a business transaction. Similarly, anything between father and son, between daughter and mother, those are domestic one. And similar one, the religious one. It should not be social, domestic or religious one. These must be economic, those must be related to our business. Okay? External or internal. As we discussed that it is exchange of goods or services to any other person. A sold goods to B. This is external transaction because B is an outsider. B is an outsider. It is external transaction. But transaction may be internal transaction also. That is called as event or other. So for example, depreciation on machinery. The depreciation word we have not discussed so far, but I am helpless at present. Okay, because all these terms we are to discuss one by one. So for example, depreciation is a reduction in the value of asset. In the value of asset due to passage of time, due to change in technology, etc. Becoming out of fashion, whatsoever the reason may be, maybe its usage. I purchased one machinery for rupees 10 lakh. At the end of year, its value is rupees 9 lakh. 1 lakh is the depreciation. Because I have used the machinery for 1 year, it has become old, so it has depreciated. Its value has reduced by rupees 1 lakh. that reduction in the value is called as depreciation. This depreciation on any asset, I am using the word asset, we have not discussed so far. What do we mean by asset? At present, depreciation on machinery, depreciation on building, depreciation on furniture is a internal transaction. Two parties are not involved here because it is internal transaction in the organization itself. So our business transaction or event may be external or it may be internal, quantitative or qualitative. When we say quantitative or qualitative, when there is increase or decrease in the quantity. I purchased the goods for rupees 5 lakh. Quantity of goods will increase and quantity of cash will decrease. This is quantitative in nature. Something is increasing, goods are increasing, cash is decreasing. This is quantitative. But when quantity does not increase or decrease, that is called as qualitative. Same example, depreciation. Depreciation on machinery. This is qualitative change. Value of machinery has gone down from 10 lakh to 9 lakh. Neither machinery has increased in quantity, nor machinery has decreased in quantity. Earlier we were having 3 machines. Now the number is the same. Machines are 3, but there is a qualitative change. It's the value, not the number, not the quantity has changed. So this is called as qualitative change in our machinery, that is our business transaction. And it should be financial in nature, where finance is involved, where money is involved, or money's worth is involved. That must be there in our business transaction. So these are the 4 features of business transaction. Second is proprietor. Proprietor is a person who takes the initiative. Initiative to start the business, initiative to run the business, okay, and invest the money or money's worth into the business. Not only the person who invests the money or money's worth, because in your business, money may be invested by the bankers also, money may be invested in case of companies by the debenture holders also. Debenture holder is a term we will discuss later, okay, particularly in class 2. Not in class 1, okay, but they don't take any initiative, neither to start the business, not to run the business. So the person who takes the initiative and invest the money, not only money or money's worth. He may bring personal furniture into the business, he may bring personal vehicle into the business, he may bring personal computer into the business. That is money's worth. So that is money's worth that he introduced into the business. So proprietor is a person who takes not only the initiative but invests cash or money's worth into the business. That is called as proprietor. Capital. Money or money's worth. Not only money. I already exemplified that money is worth. Personal computer, personal furniture, personal vehicle introduced by the proprietor into the business, that will become capital. That will become capital. Your personal chairs were there, lying at home, worth rupees 20,000. You brought to the factory, you brought in the showroom, that will become your capital. So not only money or money's worth introduced by the proprietor into the business, that will be called as capital. And in contrast to that, drawings. Money or money's worth, not only money, even the goods, even the machinery, even the furniture, even the vehicle, withdrawn by proprietor from the business for his personal use. For his personal use. So anything which goes from business to personal is a drawing, which comes from personal to business, that becomes the capital. That becomes the capital. So this is the drawings. Not only money. It may be money, it may be furniture, it may be computer, it may be goods. Whatsoever is withdrawn by proprietor from the business for his or her personal use, that will be called as drawings. The next term we'll discuss is account. Fifth term we'll discuss is account. Account is a date-wise summary. Account is a date-wise summary of transactions, particularly business transactions. When we say transaction, business transactions relating to, these may relate to persons, these may relate to property of the business, these may relate to expenses, these may relate to losses, these may relate to incomes, these may relate to gains of the business. These terms we have not used. What do we mean by expense? What do we mean by loss? What do we mean by income? What do we mean by gain? We have not discussed these terms, but we'll discuss each and every item thoroughly. What do we mean by expense and how it is different from other item? What do we mean by loss? What do we mean by income and how income and gains are different one? All these terms we'll discuss one by one. But rough idea you have about the expenses and incomes. On the basis of that rough idea, we'll discuss this term account. Date-wise summary. Account we'll discuss has two sides, left-hand side and right-hand side. Any account may be related to a person. Account may be of Sunil. It is Sunil's account. Account may be of a property. For example, building account, it is account of the property. Similarly, account may be of expenses, rent account, salary account, wages account. Okay, this is the account of expense or a loss, loss by theft account, loss by fire account. This is the account of a loss, account of the income, rent received account, This is the account of the income. So this is the case, the account can be account of the gain word we will discuss later. So it is a date-wise summary. On both sides, there is a column for date also. There are total 8 columns in a particular account. Date, particulars, journal folio, and amount. So 4 columns on left hand side, 4 columns on the right hand side. Date, particulars, we'll discuss all these things. Journal folio, page number of the journal. Amount, similarly date, particulars, journal folio and amount. This is account. This has to prepare date wise. First we have to record the transaction of April 1st, then April 4th, then May 7th, then July 8th. It can't be so that after July any transaction of June or May is to be recorded. It is a date-wise summary of business transactions relating to a person. This count could be of a person. This count could be of a property, this count could be of expense, this count could be of income. This is called as account. Having two sides, left hand side we'll discuss debit side, credit side. What is debit, what is credit? We are not aware of these two terms. But simply two sides. Left hand side, this is left hand side, this is left hand side, this is right hand side. So left hand side of the account and right hand side of the account, two sides of the accounts are there. Okay, so this is date wise summary of transactions relating to person, relating to property, relating to expenses, income, losses, gain, etc. Accounts can be classified into personal accounts and impersonal accounts. The accounts which are related to the persons are personal accounts, and accounts which are not related to person, which are related to property, which are related to expenses, which are related to income, which are related to gains, will be called as impersonal accounts. Personal accounts will again be categorized into three parts: natural person, artificial person, and representative personal. Three categories of personal account we'll discuss. Impersonal, real and nominal one. Real, again two categories: tangible real and intangible real. Intangible real. Nominal, related to expenses or losses, and related to incomes or gains. This is classification of account. Broadly, we divided the account into two parts: personal accounts and impersonal accounts. Accounts related to the persons are personal account, and accounts which are not related to persons are impersonal accounts. Personal accounts again categorized into three parts: natural person, artificial person, representative personal. Natural persons are the persons made of flesh and bones. Flesh and bones. I am natural person. You are a natural person. So account of persons: Ram, Ramesh, Sunil, Jahangir, Sunaina. All these are natural persons. If we prepare the account of Ram, if we prepare the account of Jahangir, if we prepare the account of Sunaina, these accounts will be natural personal accounts because they are made of flesh and bones. Then artificial persons. Artificial persons are the persons treated in the eyes of law. Law treats them as a person. Who is a person? If I am a person, what right I have? I can file a suit, I can file a case against somebody in the High Court or in the Supreme Court, against A, against B, against C, if I have any problem with the person. And that person can file a case against me also. And I will put my signature. I can file a case against that person. And that right I have. Because I have the authority. The authority vested in the person. There is a authority vested in the artificial persons also. Artificial persons are banks, schools, colleges, universities, corporation, improvement trust, Delhi Development Authority, improvement trust, etc. All these are the artificial persons. The institutions are called as artificial persons. Bank, if we prepare the account of a bank is not a natural person. Account of the bank will be an artificial personal account. If we prepare the account of Springdale School, if we prepare the account of DAV School, if we prepare the account of some other school or college or the university, that account is an artificial person, because those banks, those schools, those colleges, they have the authority to file a suit, file a case against somebody, and that somebody can also can file a suit against the bank, against the school, against the college. If we have any complaint in the bank, we don't file a suit against the clerk or a manager. We file a suit against the bank, because bank is a person. Bank is liable, and the person who is liable is a person. So they are artificial persons. So if we prepare the account of Delhi Development Authority, account of Jalandhar Improvement Trust, Ludhiana Improvement Trust, Chandigarh Improvement Trust, whatsoever, that account will be artificial personal account. Then representative personal account. Representative personal account are the accounts which represent either natural person or artificial person. In place of natural person, in place of artificial person, the account we prepare will be called as representative personal account. For example, rent is due to a landlord named Jatin. Rupees 40,000 is payable to landlord Jatin. If I prepare the account of Jatin, that would be natural person. But if I prepare one account called as rent outstanding account, or also known as rent unpaid account or rent due account, this rent outstanding account is representing Jatin. So if I prepare the account of Jatin, that will be natural personal account. If I prepare the account of rent outstanding account, this rent outstanding account is representing Jatin. This will be called as a representative personal account. And I give you only 4 examples. Any expense outstanding, any expense prepaid, any income received in advance account, and any income which is accrued. Accrued is due but not received. If I prepare these accounts are representing either the natural person or these are representing the artificial person. Okay, so these accounts will be called as representative personal account. I paid the rent in advance to landlord. I am not preparing the account of landlord, who is a natural personal account. I have opened rent prepaid account. I have received the rent in advance from my tenant. I am not preparing the account of tenant. That is a natural person account. I am preparing rent received in advance account. Such types of accounts which are representing the natural person or which are representing the artificial person are called as representative personal account. And at present, I am not telling you the significance of preparing a representative personal account. Why we prepare representative personal account? Why not natural person account? Why not we prepare the account of Jatin? Why we opened a new account? I am not going in detail at present, because I am discussing the terminology. Significance will be discussed later. So these are representative personal account. Then impersonal. real accounts, nominal accounts. The accounts related to the property of the business, property of the business are called as real accounts, and the accounts related to expenses or incomes are the nominal accounts. Broadly, I'm using the word broadly. I will discuss it narrowly also. Narrowly also. Nobody else will discuss, but I will discuss narrowly also. Okay? Broadly, there are three categories of account: personal, real, and nominal. Broadly, I am using the word again repeatedly. Broadly, not narrowly. When we will discuss narrowly, we will discuss another type of account also. That we will discuss little later when we understand the basic things first of all. So personal account, real account, and nominal account. Personal account related to the person, real account related to the property, nominal account relating to expenses or income. Real account are of two types: tangible real, intangible real. The properties which can be touched, which can be seen, are tangible real account, and the property which can't be touched or which can't be seen but can be felt only are intangible real account. Our properties are divided into two parts. Some properties we can touch, we can see, but there are some other properties which we can't touch. We'll discuss a little later. The properties which we can touch and see: machinery, furniture, building, motor vehicles, computers, etc. Many examples. All these properties including cash. These properties we can touch, we can see. Cash we can touch, we can see. Furniture we can touch, we can see. Building we can touch, we can see. Okay, these are tangible real account. If we prepare the account of machinery, if we prepare the account of furniture, etc., it means we are preparing tangible real account. On the other hand, intangible real account are properties which we can't touch, we can feel only. That is goodwill, that is patent right, that is copyright, that is franchise. These are our intangible assets, intangible real account. Goodwill we can't touch. If I have a reputation, suppose I have a reputation, you can't touch my reputation, you can't see my reputation, you can only feel. And similarly, patent right of invention. If I have invented a formula, if I have invented a medicine, these days coronavirus is quite popular world over. And if somebody invents a medicine or a vaccine for this coronavirus and get it registered, then he'll be having a patent right over that particular vaccine, over that particular medicine, And without his permission, without paying the money to that person, one can't produce the same type of medicine or same type of vaccine. That is a right of invention. You have invented a new thing, new formula, new medicine, new things, etc. That is called as a patent right. Copyright, right of publications, right of music compositions, right of films, etc. You can't reproduce the film or a song and can sell it. Even in case of books also, you can't Xerox A copy from the book, that is punishable, that is criminal. And students normally xerox the pages from the books. Otherwise, that is prohibited by law, because that is the right of the publisher, that is the right of the author who has written the book. And you will see in the book this type of symbol, copyright. And there will be specified that without the permission of the publisher, without the permission of the author, you can't reproduce it, because the effort of publisher, the effort of the author are involved in it. Many of the publisher is involved, effort of the author are involved. That is called as copyright. Music composition, songs, films, you can't reproduce and sell it. Franchisee, the right to use the name, etc. Okay, Delhi Public Society have given franchisee all over to open Delhi public schools. So we are using the right of Delhi Public Society to open a particular branch. They charge some amount from us. What they have given to us? They have given us a right to use the name and the instructions. That right is called as franchise. These are all intangible assets. All intangible assets. Okay. Goodwill. Two types of goodwill. Goodwill of place and goodwill of product. Both are goodwill. Reputation of a place. Okay. Chandni Chowk, Punjabi Bagh area, Kailash Nagar area. Okay. Some are very popular places where there is a big crowd, big number of customers goes there. Small shops have larger values in lakhs and crores because of the reputation of the place. In other words, we call it as a pagadi. That is the reputation of the place, reputation of the product being sold by the different brands. Don't know where those are produced. Reputation is not of the place, reputation of the product, reputation of the brand which we are using. Okay, that is again the goodwill. And they can charge the more for the reputation when they sell their businesses. So these types of accounts, when we prepare goodwill account, when we prepare patent right account, when we prepare copyright account or franchisee account, these accounts are called as intangible real account. Then the accounts of expenses, losses, income, etc. Rent account, if we prepare, this is a nominal account, expense account. If we prepare rent received account, it is a income account. This is a rent account is expense. Rent received account is a income account. So rent account is a nominal account, rent received account is a nominal account. Expenses count, income count, losses count, gains account. All accounts related to expenses, losses, incomes, gains are called as nominal accounts. In brief, gains are the profits of non-recurring nature. The profit which does not arise time and again. Occasionally, the profit which arises are called as gains. And if we open the account of that particular gain, that is again in nominal account. That is in nominal account. And let me make you here clear. Rent account and rent outstanding account are two different accounts. Rent account is a nominal account. Rent outstanding account is a representative personal account. Rent is an expense. Rent outstanding is a liability. So this is a expense, this is a liability related to a person. Okay, towards a person. So this amount is payable to the landlord. This is a representative personal account. Similarly, rent account is a nominal account, but rent prepaid account, paid in advance. This is representative personal account. This thing you should keep in mind. Okay, so this is all about the types of accounts. If you are really understood anything out of this, I would request you to like it and subscribe it. Thank you.